Time to get this old girl ready for the street.
Yeah. So I'm gonna change out all 4 springs, I think. Even though all I got is these chrome ones.
Those things are shiny as fuck. So super shiny.
They may get a can of just a little bit.
Just rough them up a little. Let's go roll them around the concrete and make them.
We can't put something this pretty on the OG. So we brought it in this morning. We scaled it. I'm not happy that it's 53 on the nose, but we've got 80 pounds of weight in the trunk. So on all these appearances and stuff that we've been doing and all the track stuff that we've been running, and even when you ran the 3s in Tulsa.
No, just 430s. Just 430s. I appreciate that, but it was only 430s.
Okay, the 430s in Tulsa, we still had weight stacked in the trunk.
So when you say 53, this thing with you in it is 3,040 pounds, and 53% of that is on the front of the car.
Yes. Where
do you want it?
I'm not going to stop today until we're 50-50.
50% front, 50% back.
Yes. It doesn't matter how much weight I have to stack in the trunk, but to get it from 53 on the nose to 50-50, I'll bet we don't have to put more than 50 pounds in the trunk.
Nah.
We've already got a 80-pound weight bar in the back right now, so we're going to change out the springs, and there's a reason we're going to change the springs out, and I'll kind of let everybody know. I'm pretty sure, just if I remember correctly, the springs on the rear are 130s. I have 150s here because last time we tried to put too much weight in the trunk, the car didn't work. We were in Nebraska, and we kept stacking weight. We kept stacking weight in the trunk, and at some point, you run out of spring. So
zip ties.
The spring, once it starts collapsing, it does whatever the hell it wants to do. And I believe it's very unpredictable. You let off the button and the back of the car can do this, or it can do this, or whichever spring gives out first.
Yep.
It's definitely going to upset the chassis, and I think that's what we had going on. And we figured that out once we got to...
I could tell something was going on because every time I'd get under the back of the car to strap it back down, it was lower.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and that's the reason we started... losing a little bit in the 405 show, but luckily we still ended up number 5, and we were able to go to the show. Well, then once we went to the show, we kind of figured it out. The road got a little bit better, and as the road got a little bit better, we started taking weight out of the trunk.
Some of it started falling out.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of it zip tied in there.
Yeah.
So you start taking weight out of the trunk, and the car starts performing a little bit better. And when it leaves the line, it's happier, everything. So we figured that we were doing that. And the only thing that is going to screw my whole plan up here is if it's already got 150s on the back. Which I could have 2 sets of 150s. But this is a set of 150. And on the front of this car right now, we have 325s.
I think 325s.
Okay, if I remember right, they're 325s. These are 225s. So
I think they'll be fine.
Well, we're gonna put them on there, and hopefully they will come really close to coil bind, and that will give us the stored energy to get the front end up. We want the front end up, but we want it to stay up. So, but it could just collapse the front. And if so, I'm gonna have to split the difference between the 325s and, go 275-ish. Not real sure, but we're gonna do that, and we are also going to, so we've had a couple of leaks on the transmission. We have got to put a diaper on the car today, and we also have to pull the transmission, and it's stupid, but we have to pull the whole transmission out just to fix a fitting that we believe is broke. So dumb. So dumb. But
one little 1/4 inch fitting.
Yep. But while we're there, and if it was any of the other cars, or even my other car, the tunnel's open. You can see into the transmission, you can look at the transmission, you can change everything that you need to change, except for the OG, it still has a stock floor pan. Man, except that cutout right there.
That cutout's pretty nice.
No, the cutout on this side.
Oh,
Can you get to it there?
Maybe. I mean, it's on the other side of the transmission, but I might be able to reach over there.
Shot, dude. Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
So while he's pulling the transmission out, I'm going to be pulling the front springs and all that stuff off the car, the rear springs off the car, and I'm going to be swapping all this stuff out. And then we're going to have to completely reset the car back up. So, and then after that, we're just going to see what happens.
Sure, it'll be fun.
We've set this car up so many times, though, that we can get it pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still going to go straight.
Yep.
And the reason that this car goes so much straighter than the other car, any car that leaves slow is going to go straight. This car leaves slow. I get it. Some of the passes, even the stuff that I watch on TV, I raced the Bird Brothers Monday night. The car rolled out.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it looked really fast. Obviously, I don't really remember that one specific pass, except for winning.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I remember that part. But afterwards, even on the show, and this is what's weird, guys, is because I see the show the same time everybody else does. I don't see the show before. I don't know what they're going to put in it. I don't know what they're going to edit out. But Ryan came up to me after the pass and said, was it as good as it looked? And I said, nah.
So I remember what happened. I went back through my notes, and it just wasn't as fast as we thought it was. It was a good pass. It was one of the better ones of the night.
It laid down a good pass. There's
just
no
wasn't
doubt
as
about
fast
it,
as we
but
thought.
obviously we saw something that we weren't that happy with.
Yeah.
You know, but when we were there, we also had a different bar in the car. The car was leaving harder, but once it got out there, it was shaking. So we don't really know. I'm torn because I still feel like leaving harder is better. That's a big ass spider crawling across the shop floor. See it?
No. Oh, yeah, there he is. Gross.
So
I think it'll
know.
still leave hard the way it is, and if it don't shake out back, then you'll stop losing acceleration.
I know, but you gotta be out on people. I don't know. I'm sort of upset that we're going back to Okima. We got this car out because, well, I mean, let's be honest. We got it out because we broke the other car, but
we kept it out because
it's so awesome to have this car out. It's easier to maintenance, and it's been working well. But we haven't been on really good streets, and now we're going back to a really good street. I don't know. I'm just fucking upset about it, man. So it is what it is. I'll get over it. I'm just being a baby right now, but I don't want to go back to a really good road, and it seems like that's what we're doing. You go to a really good road, man, and 9 out of the 10 people are really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're the 9, we're the 10, we're the 10. You know, so you go to the track and there's not a car on the list that I think that we can outrun, consistently outrun. Like, I think that every car, except maybe Dominator, has been faster than us at the track. Right?
probably.
I think Dominator even has been. Like, he's got his working pretty well. It just sucks, man. I mean, it's cool to be doing as well as we are at the top 20 deal, and then to think there's a chance that we don't even make the top 5 in the Oklahoma City show because everybody's fast. I don't want to think like that, but at some point we put this car up for a reason. You know, it's just, it's not outclassed. Like I said, never outclassed. It's just, it's old. It's tired. We're still doing well with it. I don't want to make excuses. How can you make excuses before the season starts?
Mm-hmm.
I just know that if we took the other car back out there, knowing what we know now about the suspension, I think we could clean house with it. And that makes it tough to leave it at home while we take this one.
So, I mean, what are the rules this year, though? You got to stay with the same car? I mean, is there a list where you got to drop down if you bring another car out? I would imagine the top 20 list, we would have to, yes. And that's why we're not going to do it. I'm just crying for no reason. So, I'm going to pull the front end off and get started. Yeah, I'm going to pull the front end off and get started, and
Yes, sir.
Okay, so new front springs are on, and
I actually feel I like it better.
yeah.
Like the numbers are really, really close to the same, but the only thing that is different is we're a little bit light on this rear over here, and that's because this front is down a little bit lower. But right now, sitting in the car and you telling me on the outside, I feel like the car's perfect. I felt like before it was a little bit high on the driver's side front, and now it's not. In all reality, we should zero the anti-roll bar and completely redo this, but we're not going to.
Yeah.
Just because we know the thing works. Like I said,
nice and straight,
like I said earlier, even in the burnout, the thing goes straight. It goes straight down the track, and it goes straight because we're not 60 foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's, whenever you're not trying to go as fast as what we try to go in the other car, there's room for air. And I actually feel like the air was before, and we're a little bit closer now. So now I say grab a couple things of paper towels and grab one of them weight bars, put it on the trunk.
Okay.
Let's see what it's going to take for us to be closer to 50-50.
Okay. Yeah. So up until about 2 seconds ago, this car was 99% ready.
And now what?
And now you got to pull the wheels and tires off so you can do some more measuring.
I know. Yeah.
The big old 36 is just in the way of everything.
They're just like, look at this. Watch how close that is. If that is turned over there on a pass.
Yeah.
It hasn't ever rubbed it though. Maybe they stay out of the way. They're probably like this.
Hey, big fella.
They're probably see that tire. They're probably like, especially once it starts shaking.
Yeah.
So at this point right now, we have put stiffer springs on the rear. We had 100s on here, and what my problem is see this washer right here. There's an O-ring on all these shocks. So at sitting down at ride height, that's all I have is that, what is that, two and a quarter maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay, I really want this to be in the middle. And my ride height right now, because I had a 100-pound spring on there, these are 150s, my ride height is way higher in the back. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna lower this down on the spanner. That will bring this whole coilover down, which will make the car go in, and then this will have more than that 2 1/4 travel. It'll maybe set up here. Well, I can only go so far because look, I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to go any lower than this right here because then look, you start running, it's not gonna extend that far on a pass to where something happens, but man, you jack the car up, you do anything like that, and then these are loose and it could pop out up there.
It may not go back in the cup.
It may not go back in the cup right. We've had that, and then that jacks your car up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it'll end up, I've seen people actually lose these on a pass.
Ugh.
You know, and that's, you know, that is no good.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm gonna have to do to get the ride height where I want it, and this is about as low as the car's ever been because this tire is so big. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna take this whole shock, this whole assembly under here, and see these other holes? I take this whole deal and I go down a hole, which essentially this stays the same, it pushes the rear end up. But that's gonna do a couple different things. That's gonna get me a lower ride height, but what it's really gonna do is it's gonna screw us from getting the tires off. So if you come over here, and essentially this is all the way hanging. This is as low as the tire will come out to get the tire off the car. Okay, so now, remember, we are gonna take that, and when we move the rear end up, that's gonna put this whole deal up in there further, which is gonna be harder to get the wheel off.
Yes.
And it's already sucks.
Yes.
So I really don't wanna do this, but
It's for the better of the car.
we may have to eventually put the 130 springs back on it, but we also don't know how much weight we're going to put in the trunk yet. So that's also going to lower it a little bit. So we got to take into consideration everything that we're going to do with this. We're going to pile, man, let's just be honest, probably 200 pounds in the trunk. At least 150 in the trunk is what we're going to put in the trunk. And then if we're somewhere around 51 on the nose, so be it. It is
That's
what it
better
is.
than 53.
It's better than the 54 that it's at right now.
Yeah.
53 and some change.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a estimated guess. I'm measuring these right now to make sure that these are exactly the same. Between here and here and here and here. We always try to run our rear springs the same. And when you need to set corner weights on the car, we use the front springs. I have seen some people stagger them in the back, but
Yeah. That don't even sound right.
I'm not
really.
a fan of that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan on putting the same amount of load on both wheels. But as soon as you leave, especially in this car, it does do this.
It feels cool too.
So, you know, it is what it is. Who actually knows what these things do once you let off the button?
Yeah.
So,
Whatever they want, really.
that's right. That's right. And whatever's going to flex to let it do, it's going to do. So I'm going to measure those. I am going to probably at least pull the tires off enough to where I can pull them out a little bit on the side to where I can get to these. Move these down. I'm only going to go one hole with it right now because, and one hole, I believe, it looks like half, but I thought it was 3/4. Yeah, it's only 1/2 inch. That one hole may not even get us where we need to be ride height, but we will, no matter what it looks like, I'm going to move that down one hole. I spannered these down up until they're pretty loose. That right there is about as loose as what I want it. And then we're gonna put the weight in it, and then we'll check ride height. And ride height, let's not act like it's not important.
Yeah.
I like cars to be low.
Oh yeah.
This car does not get low. It's just part of it. But I do need this angle right to where I don't have to change any of the suspension. So we're gonna check it all out, and then after that, we're gonna go to the track in the morning and test before race night tomorrow night.
So Sean's doing this. Last night, pulled the transmission out, fixed a fitting that we had that was leaking. Hopefully it was that fitting anyways. And then I flushed the transmission. It only had like 4 or 5 passes on it, and it didn't smell very good. So I'm kind of hoping, I don't know, it was a cross between old transmission fluid in the transmission cooler and maybe some old transmission fluid stuck in the converter from the last time. I don't know, but it's all brand new now. Shoved the transmission back up in there, filled it up. I think it was time to go home last night. Today, I've been working on ShopTruck. Some of you have been asking if I'm ever going to finish this thing, and trust me, it pains me more for it to be sitting here than it does y'all. But I got my gas tank back in from Aeromotive. It's got a 5 gallon per minute brushless pump in it, just like the one that's in the 55. Except they put it in a stock gas tank. A lot of the daily driver classes around here don't allow fuel cells for whatever reason, so they put one in a stock gas tank for me. It's from a 2005 or later because it has the newer models have a larger opening than like the 2001 that this truck is, so it allows them more space to put the bigger pump inside of it. It also comes with a controller here. Oop, filter's in the way. Controller there to it's a variable speed pump, so it actually varies the speed based on TPS. This yellow wire will go up to the TPS, and as the voltage goes up on a TPS, voltage goes up to the pump. More speed, more flow, etc., etc. Also got a big Aeromotive filter with a 10 micron filter element in it. I've made my hoses from Fergola, sorry. -10 feed line, -8 return. Runs along here, goes up into the Holley high rim there, and that's kind of my fuel system. Not very complicated. Should make plenty of power. So I'm going to all the lines are done, made them. I got to tighten all the fittings, and then all I got left to do as far as the fuel system goes is to run all the wires. So I'll get started on that, and then I'll throw the tank back up in there and start filling it up so that I can program the field tech to tell me what my fuel level is. And then next time I get an hour or so, I'll throw this bad boy back up in there.
Even though we're not trying to break the fastest I've ever been in it, you're not gonna go faster than me in my car. You don't need me. I know y'all don't.
So
I'm cool with Phantom going faster than me in my car, but you will never go faster than me in my car. Because I'll never hear the end of it. I never hear the end of it.
No, ever.
Dave used to ask me all the time, because that was Dave's thing, borrowing other people's cars.
Yeah.
Dave, you've grown out of that, man. I love you for it. Me and Dave's way closer now than we've ever been. And it's because Dave had grown up, you know? He used to be a boy, borrowing other people's toys. Now he's a man with his own toys. That's right.
So we're here at the track today before we go street racing tonight.
Yes.
Well,
makes no sense. I know.
It makes no sense, but we're at the track for a reason.
Oh yeah.
We changed a whole bunch of stuff up. We put different springs on all 4 corners. We need to make sure the car's going to do a straight burnout. We need to make sure the car's going to go. We got new tires, so we're scrubbing in new tires.
Yep.
You know, so there's a couple of things that we're doing here. And so we start talking about it, and my son has a game today that I'm missing. I don't really need to be here. Like, you could fucking test this car for me, and then I go show up out there tonight. I've been in the car a million passes.
You know what it's like.
I know what it's like. All I need to know is the thing's gonna go straight today.
I haven't.
And I know. No, you would cuss that thing up and down if you got out of your nice car
Yeah,
and then got in that.
Just like Sean does when he gets out of the new car and gets into that
I
one.
used to borrow junk.
Yeah, hey, 6 months ago that was junk.
Yeah. Six
It
months ago he had his
though.
own junk.
Yeah, 6 months ago he had his own piece of shit that didn't work. You know, and then now he's got that nice car.
Yeah, that thing's nice as fuck.
Dude, it is. And it looks killer too.
Yeah, they set it down there right.
Ride height.
The wheels look
even
good.
the wheels look killer on that car.
It's loud though.
It is loud.
So loud.
So,
So you leaving?
no, I'm gonna make it at least one.
Sorry.
We tried.
If everything goes amazing, then I have all these tune-ups right here. I don't, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna look over this 54 tune-up.
No, just load the 57, get something working. Roll. That's what I did last night. After we left the meeting, I hung, got the laptop, sit at the kitchen table. It was just bad.
So, as we've said a few times, filming does start today. They had a driver's meeting last night to figure out who races who, and now we're at the track today, and we're going to try to slow this thing down because we are going to the street. It's a street we've been on before, but we haven't been on in a long time. So, Sean's going through the tune-ups here and trying to get something around a certain ET range, and then we'll go out there and see what it does. Testing wasn't amazing, but I think we probably got something decent to start with, right?
You know.
Ish, yeah.
I'll probably change it 4 or 5 times before before we actually go down the road. So who knows?
Yeah. So we're out here. We'll have to shut the camera off, of course. We already got who we're racing. We got 2 races tonight, just like every other night, I guess. So that's gonna be it for this video. Wish us luck. This is the beginning of the new 405 season. So things might slow down just a little bit, but we're still going to try to keep everything rolling with giving you the content every week. So as always, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, share it with your buddies, give us a like or a dislike if that's what you feel you need to do. Leave a comment, tell us what you like or what you don't like, and we'll see you next time.